Hi everybody. Okay, this one's about YNR. There was a lot to say on YNR, so that's why I split up the two, YNR and Bold and Beautiful today. Okay, um, alright, so there's a company, Sharon, Nick, and Adam, which I find very, intriguing in the least, and, uh, well, I'm happy about one thing. They had a bunch of scenes with Mariah and Tessa today, so they're showing that, and Mariah was the one to say, "Do you think that you should be with Nick and Adam?" And actually, Sharon offered Mariah a job as director of um, communications or like social media because she said if anyone she knows, she's vibrant and she knows media things because of GC Buzz. So that was good. I do find it very interesting slash troubling maybe that everyone is trying to jump ship from Jabot. It's like they can see the writing on the wall with the fight between Jack and Ashley, and I think everyone knows. Well, everyone is already talking about how whenever the fight happens, it's going to be a massive fight, and everything that everybody ever did against Jack and Diane. Well, the thing with Diane is going to come out, and then that's going to make Jack lose it, and he's probably going to shatter because you have to understand it from his perspective. And I can say this because I've been a long time YNR viewer. Jack is a character that gives his heart. And when he gives his heart, he gives it fully. And he gave it to Phyllis at least twice. And she broke it massively. And then he was alone for a good bit. And it was nice to see somebody alone because, especially on soap operas, they tend to pair people with this person and that person and the other person, and you don't see much downtime with them alone. But it was getting to the point where I kind of like, as a viewer, I even felt bad for Jack because he was alone for a long time. And then they gave him the grandson of Harrison from Kyle, but then Kyle, they moved away. And so the grandson was kind of taken away from him abruptly. So you go from family to no family. And he wanted the house to be filled with people and laughter and joy and all that. But I think he was, I don't know. I would say the closest I can say to it was he was slightly vulnerable because he wanted to have somebody in his life and he trusted Diane and he trusted the changes he saw instead of the history. And so, I mean, the writing is kind of on the wall of it's going to break down. I just don't know how, when that's going to happen and how bad the fallout is going to be. And I don't exactly know if he's going to forgive Phyllis because last week Phyllis said, "I hope you can forgive me like you've forgiven Diane." And he said, "But it's two different matters." So I think because they're closer friends and everything else, that it hurt him more and deeper in a way when Phyllis betrayed him as opposed to Diane. Because the easiest way I can say is that he loved Diane and he had a child with her. But he loved Phyllis with like a level that you don't really get with too many people. And you only achieve that with certain people. And so when the person breaks it or does something to break your trust, it hurts worse than like if a stranger does it. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I do understand it to some level because I agree with it. And I've kind of encountered that in my life too. Of like not being hurt exactly, but if someone else who I really trust does that to me, it really hurts as opposed to someone I don't really know. It's just a different level. So, but what was funny is, oh, they told Adam to change the name because it sounded angry and or negative, and they said they don't want any negative energy in the company. That was one. And number two, let's see. Oh, the thing about summer and but they didn't really talk about summer that much. It was just it was like it felt like a hodgepodge of things. It was mostly about Sharon and Nick and Adam, and I do find it interesting that they tried to pair her with people she'd been in a relationship with before. Sharon, of course, Sharon and Nick have been together, married. You know, they were teen love story, that kind of thing. And Adam was the kind of person that she could never get away from, even though how hard she tried, she could never get away from him. So there was that kind of bond with them. Um, and the other story I would say was the Nick and Adam, but Nick tried to explain to Adam what their father was thinking because he was like, "Why would Dad leave?" And Nick said, "Because he's checking to see our loyalty and how much time it takes us to misbehave or and or you know, what we're going to do, how we're going to react to it." And so I think Nick explained it perfectly when he said, "Well, we're kind of at a crossroads and a no win situation because we don't act and we look like we're incompetent. And say we do act and we look like we're misbehaving children. So yeah, it's a no win proposition." So let's see. I think that's about it for episode really. Oh, except for the in the beginning, but it was a really short thing. Uh, Phyllis was in the somewhere with Daniel and Summer, right? And so she says, I'm trying to make an apology, make amends." So Daniel says without skipping the beat, "Oh, so you're on your apology tour." It made me laugh. Like as soon as I heard it, oh my god, yeah, she's on the apology tour. Um, so yeah. Okay. Bye guys.